Hi again, dear Astro friends, full on video mode today. This is Melanie Lichtinger with astrology from the west coast of Canada and full on video mode, I said, because I just did the astro weather for the week from today, January 3rd until January 9th, covering also the full moon on the 6th, Epiphany, and here I am again after a video cleanup under Mercury retro in Capricorn, cleanup of my YouTube channel, much needed. Now here we are with the 12 Days of Christmas, that series that started on the 25th and goes to the of December and goes to the 5th of January, covering the 12 days of Christmas in alignment with the Zodiac. And yes, because they are. And you can go back to the earlier videos for that if you're interested in other Zodiac signs. Today it's about Capricorn. Yes, and we're in Capricorn season. We're on the coming to the 10th day of Christmas tomorrow. And so what's with Capricorn for the new year? First of all, we just had the new moon in Capricorn, already very close to the winter solstice on the 23rd of December, opening the scene for the Capricorn season right from the onset. And we will have in the next few months more new moons at the very beginning of a sign. But back to Capricorn. So, yes, it's all about integrity. It's about working with resources, being resourceful, being resilient, not giving up, and working with soul power. The phase, the 15 years of Pluto in Capricorn since 2008 are coming to a close. So you guys, Capricornians of all sorts with sun, moon, ascendant, planets, nodes, what have you, you are the true troopers of the Zodiac, especially in the last decade. Having come through so much with your Capricornian features, complements Pluto, which comes around only every 248 years. So you must have signed up for this lifetime to get a Pluto transit. In other words, a big, deep purge, deep transformation, a deep purification, coming more to your essence even. So this is the opportunity, even though it could have been really hard. It's like feeling like a block of marble being chiseled on, and everything that's not you is being cut away, is being taken away, sometimes feeling really difficult about this, but nevertheless, from the soul level, you become more and more who you truly are. And the work on you, in you, as you, is almost done from the Pluto perspective. That's good news. Capricorn likes completion, likes accomplishment, likes attainment. So if all goes well, if you've dealt with your shadow, if you come through deep, dark stuff and not just projected that on the outside world, even though also everything Capricornian in the outside world, so-called outside world, in other words, structures of old empires, to put it succinctly, are also expiring and dying, transforming, because nothing really even goes away, it just changes form. And so it is happening in you as in the world, a lot in the last 15 years. So it's coming to a closure on that note of Capricorn, as this is the very last year of Pluto, still on the tail end, on the fish tail end of Capricorn, where it already tries on, plays with going into Aquarius. And that, as you probably already heard from your other sources, that will start on March 23rd with Pluto's first entry into Aquarius, March 23rd, 2023, until June 11th. And then on June 11th, as Pluto will be retro from May 1st on, it re-enters Capricorn for a last hurrah, for a last wrap up at the very end of Capricorn until it fully enters Aquarius on January 20th, 2024. So we have two phases for the Capricorn department here up to spring equinox, and then back from mid-June for the rest of the year to still do Capricorn Pluto transformation wrap up. What does that mean? So that can mean, as I said, doing lots of shadow work, but also coming more into your power, not giving power, not giving time away, not being in an old model that is actually has apparently worked. This whole old industrial model that we've been invested in, involved in, positioned in, how is it evolving now? It goes to more collaboration, less top-down authority structures. And if you feel you are in a place that is so not you anymore and is so anachronistic, not suitable for this time and for the future, it's time to really make big changes, right? And maybe you needed all these years to realize what is really getting you more into your power, right? Not giving power away. And it's a big process because it's been a historic buildup and ancestral buildup. So we also inherited genetically and on deep soul contract levels a lot from the ancestors, and are really loyal to them, but they actually want to help us. The spirit elders, the ancestors, also apropos Pluto in Capricorn, want to have they do have our back, and they want us to have a better life, a life that is not suppressed and disempowered, right? So a lot about that with Capricorn. Now, what else is going on for Capricorn besides Pluto? Jupiter in Aries, yes, since December 20th. And also the Capricorn new moon initiated that on the 23rd. So Jupiter in Aries challenges and squares Capricorn, and that Jupiter in Aries phase goes till May 16th. So in that phase, you might feel like, yeah, I know, it would be so good to do something new and fresh and show up in a new way, be more authentic. And yet, the old Capricorn side might hold you back. What has always worked and what keeps you sort of in your patterns and apparently safe or secure, I should rather say safe, more Cancerian theme, emotionally secure, more a pragmatic thing with Capricorn. So Jupiter in Aries challenges that, and Chiron in Aries has challenged that already since 2019. Also saying what the medicine is about new beginnings. Medicine is showing up in a new way and being more authentic rather than fitting in and being, part of the old world, part of the problem, in fact, right? So, and also not wasting your time and energy, your precious time, lifetime, right? So even Capricorn would say on a deep level, what matters most at the end of the day? What would you say on your deathbed? What would you really, where do you want to get to really not so much factually, pragmatically, materially, but more also from a deep soul level? Where is this journey going? What feels like true success? And so yeah, Jupiter and Jupiter and Chiron will line up on March 11th, and in Aries, mid Aries, so also challenging anything that's mid Capricorn. might again be an impulse for something fresh and new, as spring is there by then. Then you have um, Jupiter goes then into Taurus from May 16th on for the rest of the year and until end of May 2024, going into beautiful trine alignment with Capricorn. So that is very grounding. This is, while the Aries part is more like an impulse, is a spark. It's the spirit and just getting something going. Capricorn grounds, Taurus grounds the energy and is more like taking a rooting, just like plants in spring, right? So there's seed energy and then it's rooting, and from the roots also lots of strength comes from the earth that the roots take in. So just like that, maybe you are regrounding yourself in a new way, which could literally mean you move somewhere on planet Earth or in the neighborhood that is a better energy for you. And Uranus in Taurus as well has already given us lots of inspiration, or also kicks in the butt actually, to say, hey, become more locationally independent, be more experimental when it comes to location, when it comes to what really feeds your senses, what brings you joy, where you can, how you can embody freedom in another way. And that Uranus and Capricorn dynamic, Uranus being in trine with everything Capricorn since 2019 already, it's already halfway through until 2026, has already shown you where it's a good idea to reinvent yourself. And then Jupiter makes all this bigger, and more opportunities can come your way as well. If you see them, if you get more perspective, maybe literally if you travel, as Jupiter goes into Taurus from the 16th of May on. Also this year, in May, there's still a little phase of Mars in Cancer opposing Capricorn. Mars is currently in Gemini, doesn't affect Capricorn so much, but once it goes into Cancer, which is on March 25th until May 20th, that can be some kind of challenge, because Mars in Cancer, the Capricorn side likes to be more linear and likes to actually get somewhere and get something done, see results. And the Cancer side is more rhythmic, and it goes a lot with one's own cycles of emotions, especially, and needs and feelings. So things are not necessarily so consistent. And so take it easy. Also take time off. Could be a wonderful time in that phase from end of March till pretty much the whole, most of the Aries season for that matter, and also the Taurus season from a Mars in Cancer perspective would be good. If you want to do stuff, it would be great to do something around the house and around your home, and be proactive in that regard, but don't channel the energies necessarily into battles with your family, because they can also go in circles and emotions are involved. So yeah, it's good to be authentic with family, but if you go into fighting mode, I don't know, usually it doesn't go well with Mars in Cancer. And rather pursue what you truly need around your home and your family, which could be also extended. So, in other words, spirit family in this extension. And yeah, also relevant for Capricorn is the nodal shift. So, the lunar nodes, which also determine the eclipses, connect with the eclipses, they shift from currently Scorpio South node, Taurus North node into Libra South Node and Aries North Node mid-July, July 13th until end of January 2025. So 1.5 years in that sign combination. And the first major eclipse that affects Capricorn will be the solar eclipse on October 14th, which I believe is an annular solar eclipse. Yeah, it's an annular solar eclipse on October 14th in the later part of Libra, being a square to Capricorn. So the Libra side with the South Node in Libra is about releasing lower vibrational, draining Libra sides, which can be sitting on a fence, taking forever, pondering this and that, pros and cons, and all these scenarios, but not really making a choice or not getting into action, which the Aries North Node wants us to. Right? So maybe a choice that you have put way too much energy into, and it's rather time to do something about it, and just to try on one variation of it, right? So say, what about if I choose this and try that out? It doesn't have to be forever. Remember also with Uranus in Taurus, you don't have to settle for something just because you choose it. You can always re-choose and also settle yourself in a different environment or find your place in a way that is better for you. And that can have to do with business, that can have to do with location and all of that. So allow yourself maximum freedom if you can. Experiment, as I said. Now that eclipse dynamic, again, South Node in Libra, Libra and shadow qualities also being so other-oriented, so pleasing-oriented, so about wondering what people think about you, and that can make you actually quite fake. So the Aries North Node suggests to be more authentic. And how does that challenge Capricorn? Because Capricorn might be in a way a perfectionist, especially end of Capricorn with Virgo undertone says, well, I gotta do things right, and I can't just throw something out, just do a video like this, right, without too much rehearsal. It's just, but Aries says, show up, and it's very timely. You can practice forever, and then in the meantime, nobody sees it, or the time has passed for this timely situation. And that's definitely true for astrology, right? Where everything is constantly impermanent, and here's a full moon, a new moon, and if you want to post something about it next week or next month, it's too late, right? So you got to show up and do it. And it's all part of practice, and it's also about being authentic rather than about being perfect and being all together, right? Capricorn's shadow can come up with Pluto, right? Also saying, well, do you have this much time? And what is it that you really actually want to control when you do that, right? So Aries would say, yeah, rather showing up than trying to be in control via perfection or making the perfect choice in this case, right? So being alive, bringing more life to your years than years to your life, says Aries to Capricorn. And yeah, what else is on? Yeah, Mercury retro currently in Capricorn, right? And that's still going on until the retro phase still goes on till the 18th of January, and the Capricorn phase still until February 11th. So in this Mercury retro phase in Capricorn, old stories can come up for better or worse. Maybe too much of digging in the past, where you can go in circles and basically recreate the past. Don't want to do that too much. But we want to learn from history, right? We want to learn from our own patterns and learn from history in a bigger sense. Capricorn is about time and is about history. So information can come out, conversations can happen now that help us put things into perspective and connect dots. Mercury retro is perfect for that, for what we haven't seen in that light. And then hopefully, as the Sun and Mercury come together, as Mercury on the retro course meets the Sun going forward in Capricorn, and Mercury backward on the 7th, next Sunday, that is a great time for, phone is ringing, never mind, that's called the Day of Enlightening Insight. So this is the halfway point of Mercury retro, where the mind can go in the back seat behind the Sun. The Sun is again in leading. The Sun is basically now again in charge, meaning consciousness, spirit, the heart. And so this is a shift that affects especially Capricorn. And so questions would be like, what leads here, right? What do I let lead? Do I let my mind lead, or do I let the heart, spirit, and consciousness lead? And what would my day look like if I did that, right? So with Capricorn, often judgment comes up, and that can be also old mental patterns that Mercury retro helps deal with, and anything around time. So be it like time pressure, procrastination, letting time rule over you. So you don't want to be in that position, and then check in, what does that have to do with your mind, and how can we be mindful about that, and also being resourceful. So maybe tapping into what we haven't looked into. It's sitting on the back burner, it's sitting somewhere on the shelf, we haven't used it, anything relating to Mercury in this case. So can be writings, books, information, correspondence, anything that could use some clearing and could use some accessing to repurpose perhaps, and so on, right? And yeah, so this is the more acute side for Capricorn here in the early part, as it's Capricorn season, and Mercury and Pluto still, and Venus, as I said in the other video for the week, Venus has just left Capricorn yesterday to go into Aquarius, and things are lighter and not as heavy because it's not just the work and the burden maybe and anything we as individuals have taken on with Capricorn, but it's also about sharing, and about sharing the load, sharing the inspiration, and so on. So tomorrow I will be here for the 12 days of Capricorn on day 11, day after, which is then the 5th of January, because today is the one for Capricorn, for tomorrow the 4th of January. And so tomorrow will be about Aquarius. And so I see you here, or you see me on the channel, and I look forward to that. In the meantime, wishing you well, all your Capricornians, for a power year, and good for you to having come through all these years with Pluto, and I should say also especially 2020, which was loaded with Capricorn energy, that started with that epic alignment on January 12th, 2020, Saturn, Pluto conjunct in Capricorn, and then Jupiter also joined, and all three were together, and a lot happened in the world, and hopefully in your life as well, that transformed your way of being for the better. So again, wish you well for this year, and for the last year of Pluto in Capricorn, and for all else. Take care. Bye.